Good morning. This is Tara Livingston, and this is Stroke of Genius, a memoir. Um, just wanted to do uh, an update, but I want to talk about two things. One, I want to talk about aphasia that still happens no matter which voice is coming out of my mouth. And the other thing, I also want to stop or talk about um, my disability. And I wrote this down. This is very funny. I wrote the sentence, just how disabled I am. I know that doesn't even make sense, but this is part of my aphasia. But I want to talk about my disability. So, a few days ago, I had some friends coming to do some help for me that I needed around my house. And like often happens, I forgot the word in the middle of the sentence. I knew what I wanted to say, but the the word it just disappeared. Now, the word that I said it was actually it's the right meaning, but it was not a very nice word. No, it's not. It's a kind of a slur. So it starts with the j sound, and it sounds uh, uh, rhymes like sip. Anyway, and my friend, God bless him, he was very funny, and he said, you can't say this word." And he said, I said, what's word? What is the word that I'm trying to say? And he said, cheated. I was like, yeah, oh yeah, cheated. That works. And but I also know that it wasn't cheated. Cheated wasn't quite the word that I was looking for. Um, but then eventually, uh, when I thought about it way later, like the next day, the word that I had been looking for is the word con. I was con. Anyway, the reason that I'm telling you this is that the way that my brain works is when I'm looking for a word that has disappeared from my library, I can't find it. It's trying so hard to find another word with the same meaning at a time. It's what happens is that it goes back into my memory, and I'm old. So I'm old. I'm not. I'm 55. Well, I'm seniors at Denny's. I could have uh, a discount for seniors then. Anyway, so I when I go to uh, find a word with a similar meaning from the word that I'm trying to remember, it goes back into the old um, memory bank. And when I was child, the word uh, that I w- that I ended up saying out loud, it was acceptable. It's not. It wasn't not acceptable in even back in the 70s and 80s, but it was used often. When my mom was at the uh, when her dementia got bad and she had to go on to uh, living place. It was locked in because she was a wanderer. She's kind of funny, but anyway. But she had to be locked in um, to the unit, and a lot of the staff were people from uh, who have that are color. That she would use the word color. So they were black people, uh, or from Filipino, or from different countries. My mommy would say words that we could never use anymore. Um, but she would say this because she was accessing her old memory bank. So the words, she was born in 1933. So she was born, she was talking in the 30s and the 40s. So the words that she was describing these people, they were not just acceptable, but they were common, these words. Thankfully, the staff understand that she wasn't trying to say anything bad. She was just using a descriptive word. Um, and she didn't want to have any offense. This is the similar thing that is happening for me and with my aphasia, is that I'm trying so hard to find the word that has disappeared. I'm going back into my old memory bank of things from when I was child, and the words that I maybe used when I was 11 years old or 12 years old. This embarrasses me. It's it's not nice for me, and I don't want uh, to offend people or say the wrong words. And but sometimes I don't remember. I don't think. I don't um, understand in the moment that I said something wrong or offensive. This causes me little worry because, if you know me, I'm not somebody who would 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 um, says words, offensive words. Anyway, but I wanted to talk about this just because the aphasia, um, uh, because it messes with my language so much that my word bank is depleted sometimes in the middle of a sentence, and it makes me very sad. But this is part of the condition that for me that is happening. Um, and I just wanted to share with you because no, you probably don't understand or have never heard about this part of the condition. And so my aphasia is part of the stroke recovery for me because it was the part of my brain. The stroke was affected the part of my brain that is in the language place of my brain. And this is why I have aphasia. Then another story I want to tell you. I I obviously I just described part of my disability is my word fighting and my making sentences or getting my point out to ways to make it understandable to other people. Now, I have permission with my doctor. I'm a driver. I just drove from all the way from Calgary to Coquitlam, so not driving is fine for me. Um, I can, you know, I can cook. I can cook safely. But I'm always finding that I'm forgetting ingredients. So especially if I do baking. or something. I made Mongolian beef. Ooh, that was hard word. Mongolian beef. And I was making it, and I was like, "Oh, this is okay, good." Anyway, one of the big ingredients is brown sugar. I forgot. I forgot. It's a big, like part of the big part of the recipe, and I just forgot, and had no uh, no way to figure out that I was missing this part of the ingredient. So I'm not dangerous when I'm cooking. Just not very good taste. um, because I forgot parts of the ingredients of the recipe. That whatever, whether it's cooking or baking. So I was having a dinner friend with their friends, and we had a beautiful dinner. But my friend, um, who was making the preparing the dinner, she got called to work. And so I said, "Oh, okay, well, I turn off the vegetables a little bit, and so they don't get mushy." And then I was after like 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, "Oh my goodness, we forgot the Brussels sprouts." So I got the Brussels sprout, and I put them on uh, a burner in the pot with water with the lid to pour cook them so that I could put them in the oven just for a little bit. This I like to make this part of my when I make Brussels sprouts. I had to ask my friend's son to help me to figure out where to turn burners. It's a very modern part of stove, and I just need to figure out how to put the temperature under the pot. Anyway, so then I was like, okay, so now they've had par cooked. I'm going to put them in a baking dish and uh, put them in the baking. So uh, the the son I had asked. I said, put the oven back into about 350, and I opened the cupboard and I got a baking dish, and I put the Brussels sprouts in and the secret ingredients, which is maple syrup. Anyway, and put it in the oven, and then so my friend had come back from her work emergency, and she was in the backyard having a little visit. And the son, uh, l- asked my friend, "Is it okay to put Corel dishes in the oven?" And she said, "Of course, yes, you can put this in the oven." And I thought, "Oh my, I've been baking since I was like 8, and I remember Corel dishes very good because we all had this when I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s. But I realized that Evan had no way to realize how disabled I might be. And so I'm making joke for the rest of the evening about him not trusting me to put uh, the right dishes that are baking dishes into the oven. I made for fun, but I think I realized that I was actually doing it because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that he thought that he even had to ask the question to double check that what I was putting in the oven was oven safe. I don't know how to describe which part of my life is disabled and what is okay. I can drive a car for 11 uh, hours to go from one province to another. This okay. I can um, get, I can get uh, groceries. I can mm, make my bills pay from the app on the for the banking, but I also can't figure out how much tip to give somebody at the restaurant. Um, and obviously, I can't also remember the right words to say in the middle of a sentence when I'm trying to say the word with the meaning of cheated or colon, and I say some inappropriate word. I was embarrassed that even had to double check. I'm not mad. I'm just embarrassed because the truth is that it's true that I might have put something into the oven that isn't supposed to be on oven safe. It was the right thing to do is to uh, double check. Um, yes, I never know which part of my life will be disabled, uh, and which is okay. Um, so that's the truth that I don't know. I don't know, and it's hard to explain. And sometimes the things happen uh, at the moment, and uh, I don't know. I find something that I'm like, oh my god, I can't figure this out. I can't comprehend this what I'm wearing while writing, reading. Okay, all right. I'm going to stop this video because I think I'm running out of my words. Um, but I'm so grateful for you to maybe hopefully learn some of the things that are happening in my life because of the aphasia and the apraxia. Yes, always the foreign exit syndrome is the thing that is most notable, but it's actually not the part that is mostly affected by my language. Um, anyway, this is okay. Thank you so much for taking your time. I'm very happy that you had a little bit to uh, to spend with me. I appreciate this. If you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, I appreciate that. And you have a very good day. Bye.